My name is Jenbie Deborah Mantalaba, and I am reporting job analysis and job evaluation. Job analysis is a family of procedures to identify the content of a job in terms of activities involved and attributes, or job requirements needed to perform the activities. Job analysis provides information of organizations which helps to determine which employees are best fit for specific jobs. It is the process of studying a job to determine which activities and responsibilities it includes, its relative importance to other jobs, the qualification necessary for performance of the job, and the conditions under which the work is performed. It is used to establish document competencies required for a job, identify the job relatedness of the task and competencies needed to successfully perform the job, and provide a source of legal defensibility of assessment and selection procedures. Job analysis is important because it plays an important role in recruitment and selection, job evaluation, job designing, deciding compensation and benefits packages, performance appraisal, analyzing training and development needs, assessing the worth of a job, and increasing personnel as well as organizational productivity. A job evaluation is a systematic way of determining the value, worth of a job in relation to other jobs in an organization. Job evaluation begins with job analysis and ends at the point where the worth of a job is ascertained for achieving pay equity between jobs and different roles. It involves identifying key elements, also known as factors, of a job, such as skills, mental and educational requirements, physical requirements, and working conditions. You must rank each job under each factor and assign points based on the relative importance of each job. Job evaluation is important because it is a technique which helps to rate the job in terms of complexities and importance. It rates the job but the job holder. This helps determining and fixing wage accordingly. It helps to determine pay structure. The main objective of job evaluation is to determine relative worth of different jobs in an organization to serve as a basis for developing equitable salary structure. My name is Jenbie Deborah Mantalaba, and I am reporting job analysis and job evaluation. Thank you.
So, legal issues in employee selection in the Philippines. To start it off, what are the legal issues in hiring? At every stage of the hiring process, employer must be careful not to illegally discriminate against applicants for the position. Since discrimination is prohibited based on race, gender, nationality, origin, age, religion, and disability, now, most job applicants know that any indication of bias in hiring process might lead to serious legal repercussion. So the Labor Code of the Philippines. It is the law governing employment practices and labor relations in the Philippines. This helps the employee know his or her rights and also helps the employer know his or her limits and legality with handling his employee, and also recruitment and the environment of the workplace. So, what is the protected characteristics in the Labor Code of the Philippines? It prohibits discrimination or other discrimination policies in hiring against gender, age, person with disability, solo parent, pregnancy, and individuals suspected to have HIV status. So resolving the complaints eternally. Before a complaint can be filed with the Dole, An employer must utilize whatever internal resolution process is available within the organization. As a result, most organizations have formal policies regarding how discrimination complaints will be handled. So, alternative dispute resolution is being used in the company before heading to audit. So there are three types of what we call ADR. The first one is the grievance system. This is a process in which an employee files a complaint with the organization, and a person or committee within the organization decides regarding the complaint. The second one is mediation. This is a method of resolving conflicts in which a neutral third party is asked to help two parties reach an agreement. And lastly, arbitration. It's a method of resolving conflicts in which a neutral third party is asked to choose which side is correct. The difference between mediation and arbitration is that arbitration is the third party is the one who chooses which side is correct, while mediation is the two parties must have an agreement of which side is correct. So, understanding the concept of adverse impact. Adverse impact means that a particular employee decision results to a negative consequences more often for members of one race, sex, or national origin than for members of another race, sex, or national origin. One way to determine if there is an adverse impact in a company is the 4-5 rule. The 4-5 rule is when the selection ratio for one group, example female, is less than 80% of the selection ratio for another group, let's say male, adverse impact is said to exist in the company. And lastly, the affirmative action. This is intended to promote opportunities to define minority group within a society to give them equal access to that of the majority population. The example is many higher education institutions have voluntarily adopted policies which seek to increase recruitment of racial minorities. Outreach campaign, target recruitment, employee and management development, and employee support programs are examples of affirmative action in employment. So I hope you have something you have learned for today. So if you want to learn more, you can read our labor Philippines. It doesn't only help the workers but also the students because sooner or later we will become employee and employer. Knowing our benefits and limitations will be as of an advantage for the future. So that will be all. Thank you for listening.
Hello. Sharing from personal experience, I had went through 7 interviews in Manila before I was hired by an inspection company. And fortunately, I was deployed in Cagayan de Oro, which is near Iligan, my hometown. Even though I am familiar with undergoing the palm-sweating interviews, I was amazed on how much I have learned during the course of our study for Psychology 9. Especially the topic which is employee selection, recruiting, and interviewing. Interviewers often base their hiring decision on gut reactions or intuition, but not all are good with it. They usually follow a combination of structured interview in which the source of the questions are from the job analysis, and unstructured interview in which interviewers are free to ask anything they want. Both techniques support each other on determining the compatibility of that applicant to the job. Structured interview tests the applicant's technical knowledge with regards to the job, and this is supported by unstructured interview, to make it seem that they are both having a normal conversation. And this helps in determining the true character of the employee as it relaxes the atmosphere. We also had an activity to create 6 types of structured interview questions that falls into each category, such as clarifier, disqualifier, skill level determiner, past focus behavioral, future focus situational, and organizational fit. And that activity gave me clarity on why the interviewer chose to ask that question and decided that I was fit for the job. I will treasure this course as I have acquired knowledge which will be convenient for the near future. Thank you.
Next topic is about employee selection, references, and testing. Aside from company interviews and resumes, there are several ways that are preferred by the industrial psychologists in predicting an applicant's performance to select potential employees for their company. The first one is references and letters of recommendation. Though these two have the same purpose, which is a letter expressing an opinion regarding an applicant's ability, previous performance, work habits, character, or potential for future success. The difference between them is that the letter of recommendation is more detailed and specific than the letter of reference, which is more generalized. Sometimes, references typically do not predict performance because there are times where it is purposefully untrue and that the applicants choose the people who would give them good reference. Factors such as leniency, poor reliability, fear of legal ramifications, and extraneous factors affect how reliable the references are. Continuing the subtopic of predicting an applicant's future performance, we also have testing, which evaluates a person or an applicant whether they fit the job position requirements or not. There are different kinds of testing to choose from to tackle different points of the applicant. Aside from predicting the applicant's performance through testing, we predict the performance limitations too due to their medical and psychological problems. When choosing the right type of employment test for a certain job position, these factors should be considered. Once a decision is made in selecting and hiring the employee that fit the job, those who are not selected must be notified. Rejection letters informs the applicant that he or she will not receive the job offer or position in the organization. Though there is no best way to write a rejection letter, these are the guidelines that would make it a good place to start. And that is it for the employee selection, references, and testing.